Hello everybody, my name is Daniel Richardson, and I'm the WCPW review guy. Like literally the only way that, Roman Reigns can get over is if they just take him off the card completely. What's going on over there at WWE? What kind of virus is going on backstage? Tired TLC pay-per-views and dishevel. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Who cares? Anyway, so yes, this is the WCPW Loaded, what was that, October 19th review. So let's get into it. Now we kick things off, kind of an odd little moment caught on camera there. Jimmy Havoc and Prime are just walking upstairs. It's shot from last week after their match with War Machine after won tag titles. And that's all it is, just them literally just walking. But it looked like they've been through hell because they had. And so that was it. We kind of opened with that. But then we kicked things off with a four-way elimination match. We got Drake, El Ligero, Martin Kirby, Jay Lethal. And yeah, this thing really good. Once again, because you got all the different little, you got the Drake and Jay Lethal. They've been feuding now for over a year. You got El Ligero and Kirby. Same thing. Their paths have been intertwined. And once again, it's funny because in the very first episode of Loaded, they had a match, and then here they are on the last episode of Loaded, and they're clashing again. So it all comes full circle. That's what I loved about it. So, match goes for a little bit starting off, but then we get like 2 eliminations back to back, which was crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of 4-ways that have like that quick eliminations, and you get like, so you basically get like a 4-way and then you just get a regular match afterwards. Like, it's just kind of like, there's no triple threat in the middle there. The first elimination, it's Drake, he gets taken out with the lethal injection by Jay Lethal. Which, once again, it's like there's 2 parts of my mind because, I'm a big Jay Lethal fan, but then the smarky side's like, I wanted Drake to get the one up here. Like, Drake, he can hang with Jay Lethal. He just never gets those wins over Jay Lethal. So I was really hoping, like, if anything, maybe not win the match, but at least get the elimination. But no, Lethal puts him down. But as soon as Drake goes down, Ligero swoops in, roll up with a big handful of tights, and Lethal is eliminated. To one of the chorus of boos was ridiculous. Like, it was clear that we had some Jay Lethal fans there. However, we all love Martin Kirby. A lot of curb crawlers in the audience. So Kirby and Ligero go at it. At one point, Ligero tries to attempt the Zoidberg elbow, which was so ridiculous. Like, he was stumped. He was like tripping up there. It was great. He misses, obviously, and dude, Kirby hits him with like 2 back-to-back Sable bombs. Awesome. 1, 2, 3. Martin Kirby wins it. Can't go wrong there. Can't go wrong there. So we go backstage to Stu Bennett, our general manager, and of course he has a huge announcement, not just regarding the We Are Defiant pay-per-view coming up on December 4th, but tonight's load as well, and involves the same people. So he said that at the main event for We Are Defiant for the WCPW title, it's going to be a proper triple threat this time. Not just a singles match that gets turned into a triple threat due to a cash-in, but Marty Scurll's going to defend that title against Will Ospreay and Joe Hendry. Hendry, once again, I guess they feel like he deserves his rematch, And then, of course, Will Ospreay, he never actually lost because he was in that triple threat. He did, but, he was never, put in that final decision. So, yeah, they both kind of lay claim to, reason why they should be number 1 contenders, so he decides to make it a triple threat. And then for tonight's main event, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I did a little internal pop on this one. I was like, wow, that's pretty freaking amazing. Because I kept saying, like, I kept thinking, like, how are they gonna end it? Like, you gotta end Loaded on a huge note, on a big bang. Like, you gotta have an awesome match. And I said the matches that they announced, that, the first 3 matches, like, those are all solid matches, but those aren't, like, main event, say goodbye to Loaded, even the first match, which was incredible, you don't end Loaded like that. You gotta have something, And they did. We got ourselves a triple threat 9-man tag match. It would be the 3 people in that triple threat with their respective partners. You had Joe Hendry with the Prestige. You had Will Ospreay with the SEC, and then of course you had Marty Scurll with the Young Bucks. So, like, in 3 different factions too. That's what I liked about it. It wasn't just like any thrown together teams. It was like, no, they each had their boys with them, and they're going into battle. And I was like, yes, freaking sweet. All right, so we cut backstage to new Adam Wilborn, and he's trying to interview Alex Gracie, who's having none of it. Ever since Alex Gracie had to kiss Fat Ligero's ass, he has just been almost catatonic. Like, he's walking, he's coherent, he knows what's going on, but he's not responsive. He's disassociative for sure. And, like, literally, the interview's a no-go. That's the end of that. That interview gets ended pretty quickly. The next match is Alex Gracie going up against Liam Slater, and dude, Gracie is like a zombie walking out there. He's just walking out there. And so the match starts, and, like, literally nothing from Gracie. Like, very minimum offense. And like I said, he's not giving up, clearly. I mean, if he was to give up, he would just roll out of the ring, take a count out, and walk. But it's just almost like in his mind, he's got his mind so preoccupied with the events of the past couple of weeks that it's like wrestling secondary at this point. So Slater's easily tossing him around, and even Slater's kind of confused, like, what the hell is this? You know, this is Gracie, world-class athlete, just kind of taking it. But at one point, Gracie's on the ground, he raises up, and he's face to ass to Slater's ass. And flashbacks flood in quickly, and Gracie fucking snaps and just beats the shit out of Liam Slater. Like, I don't just mean like he started getting the upper hand. No, he just beats the shit out of him. Like, it turns into a squash match. Like, I never thought I'd see that. Like, Gracie squashing Slater. He does. He just dominates him. I hit him with like 2 or 3 high impact moves, one after, like, you know, they used that tag move that him and Archer did. Like, he'd have, like, you know, kind of like a diamond cutter, but he'd drop forward with it. Like, you know, he hits him with that. I was like, it's over there. And he keeps picking him up, and he hits like another devastating move. I'm just like, son of a bitch. Like, he is just killing this kid. And then finally hits him with the fall from Gracie. 1, 2, 3. Alex Gracie wins. But he's not done. He gets sometimes just starts like pounding he's like Ralphie in A Christmas Story, just beating the fucking shit out of him. And I'm just like, I'm going back for Slater at this point. I'm like, damn. Like, I've never seen Slater as an underdog. It's funny. I think some people always kind of saw him as that. Like, you know, when he teamed up with Johnny Moz, it's like, well, he's the under. Like, no, I never seen that at all, because he was able to keep up with Johnny Moz. Like, he was able to pull his weight. This is the one time where I'm like, damn, kid, like, you need to do something quickly. He's just getting his face mashed in by Gracie. Security's out there, referee's pulling him off. Gracie pulled out his nunchucks. He chucks one of them in the fucking face or chest or what. He hits one of them, takes him down. I'm like, damn. Kayfabe land, like, he's going to be fined a shitload of money. Like, whatever money he's making on those Legend t-shirts is going to the lawsuit there. But they finally get, you know, Gracie under control, and they pull him back. So Slater kind of wakes up in the middle of the ring, like, what the hell happened? And then, of course, the lights go out, and we get some crazy Christian Catholicism, Jesus, Mordecai imagery on the Titantrons, or the What Culture Trons, or the Defiant Trons, what we're going to call them now. Anyway, on the screens, we start getting these crazy images and like this monk-type music, and then out comes Pastor William Ever, and I'm just going, this is no disrespect to the guy, I'm calling him Mordecai because that's like 3 fucking words there, and Mordecai is 1 word, and let's face it, he's Mordecai. He looks better, he has, I like the look better, he has like that Luke Harper meets Jesus Christ look. I'm in. So he comes out, and he gets in the ring, and he's, you know, he's kind of doing this whole, like, from the dark, or, you know, the world's covered in darkness, and I am the gliding light, and all that, you know, that kind of stuff right there. So, as he's talking to Slater, he's, you know, he basically just says, like, you know, you should join me. Together we can, you know, overcome all this darkness. And then out comes Moose. You know, it's funny, the evolution of me even, because there's certain wrestlers that I start off just not liking, and then as time progresses, I'm on the bandwagon. Like, and I'll admit it, it's clearly me jumping on the bandwagon's going by, I'm like, oh shit, gotta catch up to this thing. On the bandwagon. And Moose is that guy. Like, when that music hits, and I'm like, oh shit, it's Moose, I'm air guitaring and doing this along with him. I don't chant it during matches that doesn't deserve it. And I think that's what irritated me more. It was, he had a really bad match with Joe Coffey, but then he also, like, everybody was chanting Moose at the most inopportune times. Like, it was just like, a match had nothing to do with Moose. Like, he was already gone. Like, he was gone from the company, and people were still chanting Moose at, like, dumb shit, and that irritated me. But we hadn't had that in a while, and he's been putting on some stellar matches, and now I'm just like, I'm happy to see him every time I see him now. And I was like, yes, Moose is out there. And, of course, he's trying to tell Slater, listen, you know, me and you, we were partners not long ago. You know, you don't need this guy, you know, be my friend. And of course, you know, old Mordecai's like, listen, here's what we're going to do. We are Defiant. It's going to be me going up against Moose. And special guest referee is going to be Liam Slater. And Slater, you can cut right down the middle. And I'm just like, wow, like, they're not even being subtle about this heel turn, are they? Like, it's going to be the heel turn, right? Like, that's what's going to happen. So Slater's going to turn heel, right? Or maybe not. Maybe he'll, you know, defy, you know, William Evert, Mordecai. He'll defy Mordecai, and Mordecai will, you know, start a feud. I don't know. It's curious to see which way they're gonna go with this, but yeah, that's gonna be the match up there, and yeah, we get that out of the way. So now we cut backstage. Now we got Stu Bennett in his office. This is probably my favorite segment. David Starr, I was gonna say, he's great. Like he's got this comedic timing, and just I don't know, he has so much charisma, anyways, but. He excels in little backstage moments like this. And he goes back there and he's talking to Stu. And he's just so smarmy and fucking, I don't know, just, you want to punch him in the face. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, if I was stupid, I'm like, dude, you're getting the elbow or what the fuck he calls it right now. But, of course, he's just like, listen, I deserved an Intercontinental match. I want to fight Zack Sabre Jr. And, of course, you remember he lost the #1 contender match to Mike Bailey. And then he's like, I'll tell you what, I'll even give Mike Bailey another chance. You know, it's just like, oh, this is great. So Mike Bailey shows up, and I just love, like, David Starr. He's just like, look, he's not even wearing a shirt. It's just great. So anyways, Stu Bennett's just like, all right, you know, here's what I'm going to do. And he turns, he decided, instead of, you know, #1 contender match they had that Starr lost, he's turned into a best of 3. Which I'm just kind of like, really? And then you can see exactly why. Because I'm thinking, where's Zack Sabre Jr.? We are defiant. Already has, like, I mean, by the end of the night, we have a card pretty much stacked up, and there's no mention of Zack Sabre Jr. I'm like, really? And I get it. Like, I get it. Everybody has their outside obligations. This is not their primary company. I understand that. However, I feel like if you're going to start crown champions, you need to crown people who are going to be here. Because this seems like that's clearly what it was. They're like, oh, here, Zack, you have the title. Oh, you got yourself, dude. Go ahead. Don't worry about it. We ran like 4 months without a women's division. We're okay. We don't need to have an internet title here. So they're just going to stretch this out, I guess, until Zack Sabre comes back. So that's the plan, it looks like. Don't get me wrong, though. It's not bad. I mean, David Starr and Mike Bailey put on a hell of a match last time they fought. I'm sure the next match will be even better, and I'm sure they'll stretch it out to 3. But it just seems like, where's that internet title match at? Like, isn't that just a title that, like, there is no line for, you know what I mean? It's almost like they just kind of, it's an open invitation kind of title. So the fact that we have #1 contender matches 4 is just like, seems kind of ridiculous because, like, you know, he's just going to fight someone else random next week anyways. So I don't know. It just seems kind of weird. But either way, we're going to get a good match. And we got a really good skit out of it. Like I said, I just love when, you know, Starr leaves. He's like, you know, you do something, you know, you need to decorate this a little bit better. I thought that was great right there. They also announced that for We Are Defiant, the women's title will be on the match. Kaylee Ray will go up against Veda Scott, which I'm really looking forward to. Rooting for Veda Scott on this one. I think it's gonna be great. I really do, and I'm hoping she gets it because I really want to see her and B go at it more than anything else. It's not that Kaylee Ray ain't great; she's phenomenal as well. But I kind of want Veda Scott versus B. Or I guess you can have Kaylee win, go on a feud with like Viper or something, and then have those two battled out, and then winner go through. Either way, but for some reason when I see this on paper, I'm just like, I'm going Veda Scott. Like, I'm voting for her. I really like, you know, her look, her style, and all that stuff. So, you know, women's division, next match, it's Viper versus B. Priestley. And I was really looking forward to this. I was curious what the dynamic is going to be like. And it really was like they were both just wrestling. Like, I like that. Like, it wasn't like one of them was heel and the other one was face. Like, it was just like, no, these two girls don't like each other. A lot of bad blood has been boiling for months now. And neither one of them was really overly cheered or overly booed. It was just kind of like, nope, these ladies, they have all our respect. Get in there and let's see it. Viper definitely brings the power game, and you know, definitely uses her size and strength to try to take down B. Early on, she definitely does too, hitting her with all these kind of power moves. One crazy move, she hits her with a like sit-out power bomb from the top rope, and I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, and then dude, like B hits hard. Like, I'm sure, I mean, clearly she was okay. She got up and she finished the match, but when I'm watching that, it was scary to watch. I was like, oh dude, like B's dead. And then she kicked out. I was like, what the fuck? B. Priestley comes back, mounts a comeback, and then she hits like that Alberto El Patron double foot stomp thing in the corner. 1, 2, 3. B. Priestley wins a hard-fought victory, and I was like, shit. So yeah, that was that right there. Good match, really good match. Like I said, good seeing these ladies finally get the spotlight for once. Unfortunately, we're taking a month freaking plus hiatus now, but you know, while it lasts, I guess we had a pretty good solid 2-3 weeks of women's wrestling. So you know. Can't get everything, I guess. But yeah, B. Priestley wins it, moves on. So then we go backstage now. Adam's trying to conduct another interview. Like, every time he strikes down these interviews. Every time he gets an interview, it just goes horribly wrong for some reason. And this is no exception. He does an interview with Travis Banks. Of course, he wants to question him about last week. You know, he was... let out there, or he was, when he came back, you know, backstage, after not winning that title, the prestige was gone. Of course, it just, you know, the cracks are starting to show there. Well, forget the cracks. It's busted open now because as soon as he's trying to answer that question, out comes Joe Hendry and El Ligero, and they beat him down. Now, I will say it's interesting, the two that are beating him down, because that kind of makes you, you know, later on when there's other stuff that happens, you're like, oh yeah, okay, kind of makes sense, I guess. Like, they kind of their own little faction going there. But yeah, Hendry, Ligero beat down Banks, and they just say, you know what, you didn't bring the title back to the Prestige. But I thought it was so odd, because I was like, really? Like, I just assumed you didn't want him to win the title. Like, you wanted to win the title, but Hendry's crazy, I guess. So they beat down Banks, and yeah, they ripped the shirt off of him, and he's no longer a member of Prestige. Him and Ligero walk off. Banks, you know, beaten and battered right there on the thing. Which I'm really hoping this leads to Travis Banks going up against, like, maybe fighting El Ligero first and then going on to feud with Joe Hendry. Because I don't want to see Hendry get the title back. I really don't. I want Marty's Girl to keep it for a while. I think he'll be great, for not just for the company, but just in general, just be great. So I'm really hoping that Banks will kind of distract him for a little bit, if you will. So I think that'd be pretty good. But anyway, yeah, so Banks now officially out of Prestige. And then after that, they announced a couple more matches for Weird Defiant. Well, another match, and then they added someone. They added B. Priestley to the Veda Scott Kaylee Ray match. And I'm like, all right, I'm down for that. Pretty good. Still kind of want Veda to win it, though. Like, I really think I want to see her win it, and then have B kind of chase her. But then again, once again, I mean, they got so many different options you can go here. So, I mean, really, anything that really kind of plays out will be good, I think. I mean, once again, they're finally getting some spotlight, so it's like, no matter what direction they go, it should be pretty good. But then the next match is kind of puzzling. Now, don't get me wrong, the match itself is awesome. It just seems like, why, though? It's for the hardcore title, Primate going up against Jimmy Havoc. And I'm like, what? But what's the point of that? And like, I get it, like, you know, they became partners kind of, you know, out of that, you know, similar respect, and, you know, Havoc helped him out. But it was just like, really? Like, that's how you're going to be like, now I want to fight for that title. It's like, I mean, I guess it's competitive. Like, I get it. But it's just like, I'd much rather see them work as a tag team for a little bit longer. Like, I really hope they just reinstate the 24/7 rule, have someone slide in, grab that title, and then leave. And then they can continue being, because I want them to be more of a legit tag team and not just two guys thrown together. Like, they work very well together, especially against War Machine. I thought that was incredible. So it's like, I don't know. This is one of those, like, maybe it's definitely more, maybe it's a smart side a little bit, but the Mark side too, because I'm just like, dude, Primate's on a freaking roll right now. Double champion. And now it's like, oh, now he's going to fight Jimmy Havoc. Which, don't get me wrong, man. I guess if they trade it hardcore title back and forth, they can both be double champions, and then just hot potato the double champion thing for a while. But I don't know. Either way, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to see them fight. Don't get me wrong, though. The match will be awesome. I'm sure that match will be, because their first match was incredible. So, I mean, I'm sure this will be epic. But still, it's just like, just didn't want to see the tag partners fight. That's all. I didn't want to see the tag partners fight. So, anyways, now it's time for the main event. And, yes, it's that triple threat tag match. Joe Hendry with BT Gunn and Joe Coffey going up against, Will Ospreay and SEC, and Marty Scurll and the Young Bucks. And one thing to notice when the Prestige come out, you know, Hendry has his arms up high, and as he's coming down, you know, BT Gunn kind of does it first with him. He's just like, yeah, you know. But then Coffey's like, nah, not doing that shit. He walks right by, which once again, you're seeing more cracks. And then, of course, BT Gunn even kind of is like, forget it. He walks down, too. And you got like, Hendry left over like a goober, like, oh, okay. We're still a team. We're still a unit. This match is fast and furious. Now, it's funny, initially, which is kind of ridiculous, they do the tag outs. And I know everybody's like, well, what's the proper? No, fuck that. It's triple threat. Like, triple threat rules has always been no DQs, anything goes. And what's ridiculous is it starts off with the tagging. Like, they, you know, two guys in a ring, we tag out. But then by the end, it's just like Lucha Libre rules. Like, everybody just runs in whenever they want with no tags. And every pinfall is accepted. I'm like, then what would we fucking tagging for in the very beginning? Like, that makes no sense. And I get it. You don't want to blow your wad like in the very beginning of that match. I get that. Like, I get the structure. I understand why people. I'm just saying from a kayfabe standpoint. Like, if I'm 12 years old and I don't quite fully realize it's fake, I think it'd be kind of hard today to know it's fake. But when I was like 12, it was still kind of real. I was like, oh, it's real. I'd still be like, what the fuck? Just run in there. It's like having War Machine rules and not using a weapon. It makes no sense. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So anyways, but we get really good tag action here. My favorite moment, I'll just bitch my favorite moments before I get to the finish. You know, SEC and Will Ospreay do like this triple drop kick on Hendry. Like he's sitting up in the middle of the ring. They all just come at him from all angles and hit him. Thought that was freaking brilliant. At one point, Will Ospreay, like, he throw like a wrist lock on somebody. I want to say maybe Ligero, but I could be wrong. It doesn't matter, I guess. But he has a wrist lock on somebody, and he's working it. And he goes over and tags in one of the SEC guys. They jump in there and they take the wrist lock over. They do that like 12 times. And it's great because Ospreay was able to do something else, and he goes right back to the wrist lock. And I'm like, dude, this is brilliant. Like, I freaking love this. You know, a lot of suicide dives, a lot of craziness, super kick parties. I mean, it's all in this match. The end comes when everybody's outside the ring, but only two people left in there is Joe Hendry and Ashley Dunn. And Hendry hits a Dominator type thing on him and gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. Joe Hendry wins. And of course, I believe it was Ashley Dunn that pinned him a few weeks back in that tag match. So it is kind of like he gets his win back right there. So Prestige win, and I'm just like, I really wanted, you know, the Bullet Club to take this one. Like, I don't know, I'm really on their jock right now, so I was like, Bullet Club, didn't work. But the craziness comes after the match. So after the match, you know, the Prestige are outside, they're raising their hands up. Now comes El Ligero to, you know, congratulate them. You got the other 6 in the ring, and that's even the weirdest part right there. Was like you had the 6 guys in the ring, and Prestige was like, let's go fight them. It's like, you do realize, like, granted, yes, I know they got 2 separate factions in there. Like, you're the lesser of all evils, like, you know, or the greater of all evils. Like, they're going to team up against you. It's still 4 against 6. Like, you guys are still outnumbered. Don't get me wrong, I know Coffee could probably handle it. Could he, though? I mean, he was getting his ass handed to him with the SEC the last pay-per-view. So, I don't know. It just seemed like this seemed like a dumb plan to begin with. And so, they're like, Henry's like, let's charge! And him and Ligero run into the ring. And then BT and Coffee just stop. And they're like, nope. We're out of here, and they just take a hike, leaving Hendry and Ligero in the ring to get beat down. I mean, let's face it, they're out of Prestige, right? I mean, there's no other way to put it. They literally just left. I mean, there's no way to like, nah, we're still partners, we're still friends, we're still in the group, don't worry about that. We just want to teach you lessons. No, it's like, no, they walked out. Which I thought was kind of funny, because once again, they weren't even in the decision to kick out Banks. You know, you gotta think about that. Was that just Hendry doing his own thing, him and Ligero like, we're gonna kick Banks out? You gotta think, you know, the rest of them were all tight, you know, and Ligero was kind of the last guy to join. You know, he was the 5th person to join the Prestige after there was already a faction up and running. Like maybe Hendry saw Ligero as like his own personal project. The other 3 were like, whatever. But now that they, you know, these 2 took out Banks, Coffee and Gunn were like, what the hell? No, we don't think so. We don't like that. And they left him out there. And of course, all the faces beat the shit out of Hendry and Ligero, and we actually do leave a bit of a happy moment right there. So what I think about this, and that was my match of the night, but I guess I should have said that right off the bat. Match of the night was definitely the main event. It was just intense, and once again, you didn't know who was going to win. Like I said, I was rooting for the Bullet Club, but once again, at any moment, it looked like anybody can win. And that's what I love about wrestling. I love it when it's not predictable, and that's the way it should be. So yeah, I was really pumped about that. Entire card was great. I mean, this is really a good note to leave loaded with. Like I said, it's the end of an era, and yeah, it hit all the right notes. It really did. And then, of course, once again, as we're heading out the door, getting into that, you know, Defiant Wrestling era, we set up the next pay-per-view. We got a lot of good matches. They look like they're awesome. Like, we got a lot of awesome, you know, matches. So curious to see what's going to be like. You know, curious to see what's going to be like right there. So let me know what you guys thought of this final edition of Loaded in the comment section down below. And once again, guys, share and subscribe if you haven't already. Show this video a thumb and love. And all that good stuff's down there. Just hit all that stuff up. You know what to do. At this point, you know what to do. So that's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time.